Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of One Mic Night. This is One Mic Night Talk, where we discuss certain issues and points of conversation. And my guest host today, you already know her because you already heard her. She's an actor, screenwriter, and you listened to her episode in season 2, episode 6. Give it up for Ashley Elizabeth Green. What's up, Ashley?
Hey, what's up, my
How
love?
you
How are you?
doing? I'm good. I'm
I'm
good.
excited.
Thank you for hopping on here with me.
Thank you for even asking me. This is like an honor and a pleasure. I'm so excited.
Listen, let's get down to business.
All right.
All right. So, topic today we have is when does one have to let go of a dream for another dream to prosper? That's a big question. That's a big
Yes.
question. So, how do we as artists, we're on this pathway to what we think we want to do. A lot of people want to be successful. A lot of people want to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a dream? We're pursuing it. Nothing's coming. Maybe we get little bites here and there. When's the turning point? When do we say stop? When do we quit?
Man. So okay. So I'm about to hit y'all with some little
Let's
Pisces.
go.
Let's call it Pisces because it's I really believe for me, and maybe you can talk about your thing. How do you think about how you move in the world, right?
Yeah.
So I know the way I move in the world is being in the clouds. That is how I stay grounded.
Right.
And what I mean by being in the clouds, I mean I have so much optimism, which I believe that lives in gratitude. And I have so much faith, I know it's gonna work out because I'm such a dreamer in a matter of I see visions of things happening and I just need to put the steps in. So I just believe at the end of the day, if you can just envision it every day, and we're not even talking about manifesting it, but just envision every day of just seeing it, smelling it, feeling it. I just believe it's gonna happen, but you just have to wait until you get into a place where you level up yourself and to get to that person that needs to fulfill it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I be thinking about.
Okay. So you think it's part of your subconscious, and every day you're moving towards that goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, first of all, you got to have a goal. First of all, you got to have a goal. I think that's the key.
Yeah. I mean, first
Right.
you gotta have a desire.
A desire, a
Because you think about
passion.
it, right? I
Right.
mean, of course
Yeah.
you have a goal, but first you have to have a desire on what makes you move.
Right.
What
Yeah.
makes you want to get out of bed? What? Because I think sometimes we think our purpose is something that is forced. You got to schedule it. I just feel sometimes it'd be this is what I've learned, especially with writing. And I think about it all the time. And it doesn't be in a matter of work mode all the time. There's just always stories playing in my head. And I just feel when it lives in you and breathes in you and it doesn't feel like work,
Right.
sometimes that is what's leading you to your calling.
Absolutely. That's the passion. That's the fuego. El fuego tiene. You know what I mean? That when you got the fire in you, that's what it is. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
I think we all just need to learn how to, what just makes us, without getting paid, without setting your alarm clock, what can just make you just give you chills and goosebumps of yo, I can do this for free.
Right.
I love this. This is what I can do. It's like brushing teeth.
Right.
It's whatever.
I think part of the problem too is, when we're on this pathway, we always feel like, oh man, I ain't making no money doing this. It's not happening for me. And so, that's where you start to get a little bit disheartened and you don't think that you're on the right path. The other thing I have to say too is while you're pursuing your dream or while you're pursuing that passion, you might have to have another job. You might have to be a bartender, a waiter, you might have to, or even something in the field that you're in. You can go out and busk, in the subway if you're a musician, make some money that way, but you might have to have another hustle in order to pursue your dream.
Definitely. But I also feel get to where you need to go, that's adulting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Forget, like, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get to where you need to go.
Right. Because you got bills, you got responsibilities too. You got to live.
And I think that's the bad rap that creatives get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that we can't, because I know my group of friends, we travel, we try to live well.
Yeah, right.
Some of us has our own apartment. You know, we have ambitions.
Right.
Some people are married, some people are not. But I just feel like it doesn't have to be the same poor man's mentality.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
For creators, I think you can have a great life while I think the problem is making it, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, I think you can have a good life while you're still in that area of what you call making it, which you're already making it, because once you start setting forth on your goal, into your calling, into your purpose, I think you already have succeeded.
Right.
It's just a different level of success that you're looking to attain.
Right. But do you feel like, those people who are sacrificing all the other things, do you feel like that keeps them more focused? Or do you think it's the same? You know what I mean? Like, say for instance, like if I decide to move out to California, and I don't get an apartment, I live in my car and I eat what I can, like those type of things, like sacrificing all those things rather than get a job, and then it takes me off on a whole different path where I got to go to work at 9 to 5 every day. I get cable, I got air conditioning, I can travel, you know what I mean? Like, does that take us off a whole nother pathway, or can we manage to stay focused?
I'm all about, if that's what you need to do it.
Do it. Yeah.
I know me. I be talking to God like, God, look, homelessness does not live here.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I am the same way.
Like, if that's what you need to do, definitely do it. But I don't believe it has to be that. But like I said, everybody's way is different.
Right.
Tyler Perry was homeless for many, many years, and that's what led him. I just believe let me say this, we all sometimes know what we're built for, know, and sometimes we don't know what we're built for until life hits us.
Boom.
There you
go.
I just know for me, homelessness does not live here.
Me neither. I gotta tell you, I'm the same way. I'm not one of those guys who can sleep on his buddy's couch. I can't sleep on my friend's couch and be living there and trying to eat a bologna sandwich on white bread every day, or running down and get a taco or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? That's not me.
Oh, no,
I can't do it.
Not.
I can't do it.
I love showers. I love baths. I love some shea butter.
Yep. Exactly. No, I hear you.
The upkeep of myself.
Which is important also, because when you show up for an audition, say you're an actor or you show up for a musician job, you got to be clean. You can't be rolling up in that funky. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, you got to have your stuff together. You got to look nice and presentable, depending on what the job is. You know what I mean?
And I mean, I believe too, at the end of the day, even if you have to live in your car, right? Even if you have to do that, I believe God brings us people that will have an apartment for us to live in, will have showers for us. You know what I mean? I believe like God brings our helpers to help us.
What we need our way.
I don't think sometimes we have to be in dire situations. I think our ego is saying to us, we need to, like, I feel like sometimes we get into the human existence, like, if I'm not struggling, I'm not doing the work.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's just your ego saying that.
Right.
And I don't think that's true.
Right. It's not, and it's not also necessarily working hard every day. It's working smart, like doing the things that you need to do to get to where you need to get. Yeah, I mean, immerse yourself in what you need to do, but at the same time, make it effective. You know what I mean? Like say like I spend, half an hour every night memorizing lines. Do that over the course of a period of day, instead of waiting till the last minute and say, oh God, I got to memorize all this lines, blah, 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 and you drive yourself crazy. It's about bringing the things at the time that you need them, bit by bit.
Definitely. And I also believe, like, I just believe, like, you can always make a plan, right? You can always have a plan and a blueprint. But I just believe that, like, when you don't, like, even with me, when I moved here, like I told you the last episode, when I moved here from Baltimore to New York, didn't know anybody, didn't know about trains, nothing. And I just believe through the power of prayer and also like God guiding me in my spirit and, you know, the universe, I just feel like everybody came into my season of life to help me.
Right, yeah.
You know, so I just believe like he will send you helpers, he will help guide you. And also I believe at the end of the day, like, I believe our dreams do not have to be, they just don't have to be so out of reach. And I also believe like getting back into the working thing, I think there's blessings in work. I think there's blessings in working those 9 to 5s as a creative too. Or not even a creative, let's not say you're a creative, but when you're working outside of what you want to do, right?
Right.
Think about it, like those clothes you have and paying your bills and shelter and all those things, that helps pay for that. So I think it teaches you also about gratitude in that manner. So I think that's an awesome thing that we all have to learn. Like, that job is also teaching me discipline. How much do I love that I'm trying to make what I'm doing, that side hustle?
Right.
Do I spend enough time in it?
Right.
You know, so, and I think,
but how many people do you think, do you think everybody's aware of it? Like, when did you become aware that, you know, maybe these people are coming in my life for a reason? Maybe this is, you know, the next step in my life, or, you know, being thankful for those people and this thing happening. Or were you aware at the time, or do you look back and say, okay, now I see, now I understand?
I wasn't aware at the time until after people started confirming what I was thinking. And it started resonating in my spirit. And that's when I was just like, yeah, I just need to take that chance. Because, you know, you start thinking about things and you just be like, should I do this? Should I do that? And then God or the universe starts guiding you with people and you be like, oh my God. Or a situation will come up. You be like, I was thinking about doing that. You know, like I'm not going to tell people we just spoke about. Remember, I just speaking
right,
to you
yeah.
about thousand things.
Exactly, yep.
And then you went boom, boom. And I was like, that lines up.
Yep.
But I'm
absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so what I'm saying is like, I think that's what resonates a lot with me. Is it like, how about you? Like, do you ever feel like, or do you get it afterwards?
Sometimes, you know what I've learned, I think, as I've gotten older, to listen and watch what's going on a lot more and follow my intuition. And it really has been a lot more recently. Like, I'll see something and then I'll be like, man, wow, these two things just connected. One over here, one over here.
You seem so grounded though. You're like,
I am. Yeah, I am. I feel like I am too. And I think, like I said, it's something that's come. I think I've always been kind of grounded, but more so recently. Yeah.
Like such your old soul. Like, you'd be like,
yeah. I mean, you have to look. Yeah, I think my perspective of life and growing up, and I have to give that to my mother, is she's always been a very open, liberal, you know, person. And and you know, so let's go. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Fran. You know what I mean? We all, you know, I grew up watching her on stage in theater, you know, so she brought me into a world where, you know, my family was already in entertainment. Her father was a famous gospel singer, and I know you guys heard me say this before. So just music and the arts is in my soul. Like, everybody in my family does some sort of arts. So yeah, I mean, my perspective, and then, you know, like we all have different experiences growing up. You know, I grew up and I went to a boarding school, you know, where I was there was only 11 people of color in my graduating class. So my perspective, and growing up in the suburbs, so my perspective on life is a little bit different than some other people's. And so now I feel like I'm, you know, you have to encompass everything. You have to recognize that we're all different. We all come from different walks of life. And so I'm welcoming to everybody, you know?
Oh God.
Yeah. So you have to.
Was it an easy because you're a family background, was it an easy transition into the arts for you?
No.
It wasn't a sense of like, how I'm gonna make money, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna make it.
No. There was no pressure to do anything. You know what I mean? In fact, I started college as pre-med. I thought I wanted to be a doctor. but I was still doing, I was still acting and doing theater, you know, on my life. You know, I hosted a kids show on TV, you know, some theater in school, school plays, things like that. And then my senior year in college, I went to Northwestern University in Chicago. Um, I actually was doing a professional show in Chicago. And, you know, you really weren't supposed to be doing shows in Chicago. So I had my first professional show. It was called Pekong, which was a Caribbean version of Medea. Yeah. And it was choreographed by...
Why is that not being produced like
it should be. I mean, that's one I would like to do, because that was... let's do it. It's a huge play. And it has... let me tell you, it won Jeff Awards. You know what I mean? And it really was about... Charles Smith was a writer. T.C. Carson from Living Single choreographed it. I was one of the principal dancers in it. So I was doing that little Pekong dance, you know, and just some of the top actors in Chicago were in it. This was in Chicago. Yeah. I'm surprised too.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a great show. It's a great...
I've never even heard of this at all.
Yeah, check that out.
I will check that out.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check that out. I love that.
So yeah, you know, along the way, you just decide whether, you know, I don't necessarily want to audition for anybody anymore. I mean, that's not necessarily my goal. My goal is other things. And as you get older, you choose your pathway. You know what you're doing. You know, I like creating my own content. So it's different for everybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about like, because I think it gets to the point in your dream when you... that's another thing we should probably talk about. Is when you become the worker bee and now you want to build your own table. That's it. So yeah. So how did you start getting into that way? Like how do you like...
It comes out of necessity, because when I moved to New York, you know, that was a while back, and I was tired, man. I was hustling every day. I was working, you know, at a restaurant on 42nd Street. And from that, also another thing that spawned, I have a little web series that I wrote about that place that's going to be produced. So, but yeah, you know, I wanted a platform for other artists, which is how OneMicNite came about in 2006. Because I remember the show Love Jones, the movie Love Jones with Nia Long.
Of course.
Iconic, right? I'm an old man, but I was I was a double for Bill Bellamy in that show, so I had to sit in when Bill Bellamy wasn't. Yeah, no, it's probably. But I'm telling my age there, but you know what I mean. So
I think that's something
that's great, right?
Anything that's such a beautiful show.
Absolutely.
Like that, you know.
So from that, I decided to start OneMicNite because, so it just turned into this big thing. So the brand's been going on since 2006. And I wanted to create a space for other artists to do what we do, you know, poetry, comedy, actors, singers, songwriters, musicians, you know, and just make a platform for us to do our thing, you know. And so this turned in from that, the live series is what I called it, turned into this platform here, the podcast.
I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, you just...
everyone's listening to this. They don't teach this in school.
I know, man. And listen, shout out to Soul Motif. If you guys want a good open mic on Thursday nights, check out Soul Motif. It's here in New York, but they do it virtually. Apache and Kita P, who used to come to my open mic, they have a virtual open mic that's banging. So hop on there. I was on there last week, did a piece. So yeah, it's about creating content, you know what I mean? And just, yeah, I'm trying to, you know, that's it. We have to. And as an artist, you have to be open, you know, allow yourself to be, man. You can, you know, right now we're singers, we're songwriters, you're a producer. Learn how to engineer your own stuff. You know what I mean? Make your own content. You don't even have to have a camera to shoot a film now. You take your iPhone, take your phone, take those Galaxies. They're shooting in 8K right now. Take that stuff out there. Just get a story in your head, shoot it, piece it together, submit that stuff to a film festival. You know what I mean? Get your work out there. We all have stories, whether it's writing stories, you know, singing a story, you're a songwriter, whatever you got to do, man. Just create your own content. Your dream never dies. Your dream doesn't have to die. You're going to be an artist for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I think the other component of that is the doer, the executor, and the person who has fear. You know, because fear is a lot of times, and I believe this is when fear comes in. I believe fear comes in when you're already thinking about how the result's going to be.
Right. Yes.
You know, how it's going to affect, what it's going to look like. Because I've been there before. You'd be thinking about, like,
sure,
this is how I want it to look. Would it look like this? Would it do this? And it'd be like, Ash, you haven't even started writing it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
You already went to all the way to the finished product and you haven't wrote anything and you're already over there. And
right.
I think a lot of times I've learned to be like, take a step back.
Just pull it back.
Steps.
Right.
Yeah, pull it back. Baby steps, my love.
You have to. It's one step at a time. And once again, I say, you know, allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to be.
That's
you know,
true.
just allow. I just had this conversation with my little brother yesterday. You know, he wants to do so many things and he's so talented in so many different areas. But, you know, then the fear sets in. Well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. Just allow yourself to be. You're a writer. You're a singer, a producer. You're a rapper. You make beats. Just go in there. Find something to inspire you. Just sit there and do it.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be. Right?
And I think what helps with not getting rid of the fear, because I believe that fear stays with us, but it gets a little bit quieter with the voice.
Right.
Because I love this saying when they say, do it while you're scared.
Yeah.
And I believe when you keep doing things while you're scared, the voice gets quieter.
It does.
You know? And because I know for me, I love feeling adrenaline. So then I was like, Ash, you like feeling adrenaline. Won't you just transfer that feeling into your work?
Harness that energy and transfer it into your work. Yep.
Exactly.
That's it. That's
so
it.
I think sometimes we forget a lot of us are multi-hyphenated people. So at the end of the day, when you start being like, oh no, I'm not, you know how they be saying like, jack of all trades, you know, master of none. It's like, no, don't say that.
Right.
Just say you're a multi-hyphenated person. And every day, or maybe twice a week, or whatever you try to do, make time, an hour, maybe 30 minutes to an hour of every gift or talent that you have. So you're harnessing that in its truest form and you're giving time to that. So it don't look like you're all over the place.
Right.
That you're really giving time to it, because I believe discipline is a really great thing to have too.
Absolutely,
you know?
yeah.
And when you give time to things, you're putting discipline into that, you know?
That's right. That's absolutely right.
I was actually, so what do you think a dream should die?
It's different for every person, you know what I mean? And depending on what you're, like you said, what the finish line is for you, it's different. For me, it's never going to die. I'm an artist, you know, through and through. I can keep creating. You know, I enjoy being in the entertainment industry in all different facets. I'm a producer. I'm an actor. You know, I write a little bit. I sing. You know, I dance. So for me, it's never going to die. You're creative. You know, you're an artist in everything you do.
Yes.
Am I ever going to be famous? I don't know. Don't care. Am I working? Yes, I am. You know what I'm saying?
Don't care.
Don't know, don't care.
The same way.
I keep doing my thing.
My bills paid, I'm a happy girl.
That's right. I keep doing my thing and I express myself through my art, no matter what it is. If somebody likes what I'm doing, you know, they want to put some money behind it, good. I'm happy. That's great. That's what I love. Put me up on a show somewhere, that's great. But until then, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I have a voice, you know, and I'm putting my art out there. And hopefully I can touch somebody or inspire somebody along the way, you know, and that's my goal. That's my dream. That's my dream.
I love that. I think that's, because I think I'm with you. I don't believe dreams die. I believe they evolve.
Yes.
You know, like sometimes the things that we thought we wanted to do, it just gets closer to like, I don't want to do that no more. I want to do this over here.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so many people who have evolved from like acting to like now I'm an executive producer. I just believe they just evolve. It's just like it gets you in the door of certain things to learn certain things. So I believe like when we first dream about something, it's like, okay, we're learning what we have to learn. And just dreams just evolve and you just don't have that passion for that anymore. But I don't believe it ever dies. Like someone will be like, well, it did die because you're not acting anymore. But I'm like, but that just means you never was meant to be an actor.
Right.
If you lose that passion,
if you lose the passion, right. El fuego. That's right. That's right. You know, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and you know, like, and for me too, you know, I'm a model. Okay, so I put on a few pounds. Maybe I'm not modeling the way I was. Maybe I'm not doing editorials, but guess what? I got a beard now. I'm a beard model. Get paid on that. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it evolves. You know what I'm saying? That's right. So it evolves, you know, with you, and you have to be open to stuff. And yeah, passion, man. Like, I love doing everything. I love entertainment. I just love it. You know, if you're an actor and that's your passion, just keep pursuing the acting.
Yeah,
But if you're
just
open
keep
to anything
pursuing it.
else, you're still in
Right.
the business.
Yeah, I think that's so true because, and I also believe this is the thing that I think we probably all have been somewhere in our life with this, that time frame.
Right. Yeah.
Where we think we're supposed to be, I'm supposed to be this by this time. And it's like, who told you that?
Right.
No one told you that.
Right.
Like, get out of that time.
Get out of that time frame. And on that note, I do want to say a couple. I got a list here, a couple, two or three,
let's go.
2 or 3 actors that became famous at certain points in their life. So we got Christopher Waltz, 51 years old, and then he won 2 Oscars after that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? James Gandolfini from The Sopranos. Didn't even know him until he was 38. Close to 40 years old. James Gandolfini from The Sopranos. You know what I'm saying? Naomi Watts, you know, same thing, over 40. She was, no, 31, I'm sorry, Mulholland Drive, TV movie. So these people, you know, you don't have to be famous in your 20s. It can be 30, it can be 40, it can be 50. Morgan Freeman, you know what I mean? Like everybody, yeah, you know?
You know, I was thinking, I was talking to someone yesterday about this. I was like, you know, Toni Morrison didn't even publish her first book until 40 years old. That just shows you, and I think this is where media tricks us.
Right.
Experience, and I'm not talking about job experience, careers, but I'm talking about life experience.
Come through. Yep.
Do not sneeze on that.
That's right.
At all.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like the age of 38 that I'm at now, I feel like there's no way in the world in my 20s I could have moved here.
That's right. Yep.
But that's for me.
That's for you.
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
I just know for me, I'm such a late bloomer in a lot of things. I just thank God that He led me in certain things because I would have never had the type of strength I have now and the tenacity and even the patience with myself if I wasn't older with life experience.
That's right. Which then goes back to what we were saying before, life experience plus a little travel. You gotta have a little coins. You travel, you learn about the world. That gives you something to go back and say, okay, listen, now I got a whole new perspective. Now I can do even more. You go to, say you're a musician, you know, you're doing American music. Say you take a trip to Africa, and all of a sudden you got a whole new world of music.
Whole new world.
You know what I mean? So yeah, experience and confidence.
Exactly. Being a different, because I love that you said it because people need to be around different cultures.
Different cultures.
Different ways of being. Like even different, especially Americans.
Right.
Like for us to be talking about, well, not us as in Black folks, but for other people to be like, they don't like to hear people speaking Spanish, different languages. When you go to different countries, that's all they do.
Exactly.
Like that would open up your mindset with that.
Absolutely.
Like, people do speak multi-languages.
Listen,
know?
That's the best time of my life, I have to say, you know, and even when you get, after you go to school, if you don't go to school, once you get out of the house, 18 years old, 21 years old, save your money, travel. Save your money, travel. That's what I did. That opens up a whole new world. You go to Spain, you go to Europe, you go to the Caribbean, I took a little train across Europe. Yeah. You meet people. I met some Americans on the train going across Spain. They were from Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like, you never know who you're going to meet. Yeah, you're going to never know who you're going to meet there. I met some people in Paris from, you know, Chicago. I was like, you from Chicago? And I was living in Chicago at the time. So you meet like...
I met one of my good besties. Hey, Michael Healy. I met him in Cambodia.
Wow.
We just all of a sudden was going up the steps, and here's this beautiful Black man coming out of the steps, and we just like, hey, what's up? And because, you know, ain't nobody,
right, yeah.
You know, they ain't
Exactly. Yep.
And we both look American. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, where are you from? He's like, I live in New York, but I'm Jamaican. And I'm like, we're in New York. Harlem. We both live in Harlem.
That's funny. That's funny.
For lunch tomorrow.
Right.
It's funny where you don't even know where
You
you're going to
don't know. You don't know. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's great.
I love it. I think, well, not to get sidetracked, but I will get sidetracked. Are you planning on traveling anywhere this summer?
Absolutely. As soon as this restriction lifts up a little bit, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I gotta travel. I love traveling. I love traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. How are you feeling about it?
Any words of encouragement and advice for the dreamers out there?
For the dreamers, keep dreaming. You know, it doesn't have to be just a dream. You know, it's a reality. You make it a reality. Evolve with it. Learn. Be open. You know, if you have a passion, follow it. You're always an artist. Everything we do, we're an artist. Be creative in, you know, whatever you do. Definitely don't give up the dream. Definitely don't give up.
That's true.
Yeah.
I love that. That's true. I feel the same way. Like, it's just like be patient and always. I believe small steps are very more important than big steps. Once in a while, I believe consistency in any shape or form that works for you.
Right.
That is better than once in a while type of stuff.
Right. Yep.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe in inspiration. Like, and what I mean by that is that I believe inspiration, I think it's very sneaky. You know, I think inspiration is very sneaky. I think it's very fleeting. And I think you shouldn't hold on to it. You know, like, because this is what I think about it. Because I believe inspiration is always monetary. It's never there forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how it's like you get inspired to do something, and then it's just like the next day you're not inspired, so you don't do nothing.
Right.
You know, I think it's that fun cousin that gets you in trouble.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Gone.
I hear you. Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Interesting. That's food for thought. Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah,
Interesting.
That's how I feel. Because I noticed when I started dabbling into becoming an actor, director, and then decided to be a writer, director, and actor, I started noticing like it's a different type of discipline for writing. And I used to, I remember the early stages, I would wait to be inspired, and I started noticing like, well, you're not going to learn how to write if you're always waiting to be inspired. So what rituals do you need to do in order to get inspired? You
just took the words out of my mouth. Yep. Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
So I started doing, before I do any writing, I still do it today. I write in my journal. Extra, like, it's just for writing. Just write in my journal what I want to do for today. Just something to inspire myself. And then I always pray before I write. Ancestors, my writers, my thinkers, my philosophers. I'd be like, come with me and write with me. Woo! It always works.
All right. This is going to be another conversation for the next One Mic Type Talk. Listen, guys, we got to go. We hope we inspired you today with One Mic Night Talk. Any last words?
Like you said, keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming.
Be patient with yourself.
Keep dreaming.
That's what someone told me. Be patient with yourself.
Be patient. Yeah. And you heard it. Everybody, please make sure you follow Ashley Elizabeth Green. What's your IG?
Ashley Elizabeth Green.
There you go, on IG. I'm Marcos Luis, MarcosLuis. This is One Mic Night Talk. Please, everybody, use the hashtag OneMicNiteTalk. Let us know. Comment down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know what you want us to discuss next time, and let us know what you think about the show. Also, follow us at One Mic Night. You can find that at One Mic Night Podcast at OneMicNite.com. All the links to the social media are on there. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Marcos Luis, Ashley Elizabeth Green, we're out.